Hey y'all, welcome to my new vlog. This is your girl Gloria Lee and the wicked house to busy. This is the day the Lord has made. We really rejoice and be what? Glad in it, okay? So y'all, let me tell y'all, let me close my door for one. Hold on, let me close my door, y'all. Okay. As y'all can see, I am in my office, okay? I remember that I've told you guys, and I've been so mean to my Lily's fam. I love y'all anyway. But anyway, I told y'all on one of the vlogs that I wanted to do a story time on how I became an entrepreneur. Okay, so sit back, get you some popcorn. Girl, go ahead and get that water and stuff. Make that baby be quiet, girl, so I can take y'all the story, okay? Anyway, so how I became an entrepreneur. Okay. Um, it started out when I'm trying to get my thoughts together, y'all, because it's a great big story on how I got started, and I want to make sure I'm not leaving nothing out, or talking too fast and forgetting, and forget or leave anything out. Well, anyway, it started with me. My organization have started with me. This organization is based upon my life. As how I got started was I was working at a child care center called Mount Peace Child Development. And at the time, I've been there for almost 7 years. 7 years, I've been there for 7 years. Okay, so in the midst of that 7 years, there was a young lady that came to be a director. When she came to be, became to be a director, she cleaned the house. And when I say clean the house, that means she had fired just about everybody that she didn't like that was there. And she made a newsletter stating one day that she was going to have, she didn't really put it out there, but we kind of know and figured out what she was saying. But anyway, she was like, that she's going to hire a teacher that have their degrees in early childhood and all this kind of stuff. So because I didn't have a degree in early childhood and all I had were my credentials and other certificates underneath my belt for child development, she began to nitpick me about a lot of things. She didn't actually know how to fire me or to let me go, but she didn't like me because, for one, I'm a type of person that I like to voice my opinions. And if I see something is wrong, I like to not avoid it, but to address the conflict. That's the type of person I am. If I see something is wrong, I like to come at you with it. So there's been things that she's been doing. I came to her about certain things, and I guess because she felt like she was my boss, that she can talk to me any kind of way, that she can run me ragged and everything else, because she was a young lady. She was 30 years old. And at the time, no, she was, I think actually, she was like in her late 20s. And at the time, I was like in my 40s. So she began to talk to me any kind of way. I was one strike ahead because she didn't really like me. So she did a lot of things, nitpick at me with a lot of stuff, took me out my favorite classroom, put me in a classroom I really didn't want to be in. She did a whole lot of stuff. And I kept going back, complaining to the pastor, complaining to the board members and everything else. So it came to a conclusion that one day she just pulled me into the office and said, I don't need you anymore. Her exact words was, I don't need you anymore. You don't have all the qualifications that I wanted in a teacher. She let me go. She didn't think about the necessity of whether I had 4 small kids. She didn't think about that. She didn't think about that I didn't have a second job. She didn't think about that. She didn't think about anything. She was just cold-hearted. So at the time, I was going to church. I don't think, yeah, I was going to church at another church at the time. But anyway, I was going through. And in the midst of that, God was trying to show me the whole time. There have been plenty of times when organizations will pop up in my mind. I always want to do for the ladies and women and children and girls and for the community. And I always dreamed about it. And it seemed like I always knew who God was. And it was like God will always show me what I can do. You can do this, you can do that. But I never thought to put it in perspective to have an organization until I lost my job. When I lost my job, the reality set in. And I began to think, I began to say, okay, God, what is it? What is it you're trying to tell me? What is it you want me to know? What is it you want me to see? So in the midst of all of that, he began to reveal to me that the whole time he came to me about these visions, about opening up a organization for women, girls, and a community. And I'm like, why? So he began to reveal to me that this organization is set upon your life. Do you not know what you've been through? So I began to sit there and I began to say, no, Lord, what is this organization about? So he began to roll back the curtains, guys. And I'm telling you, I'm getting emotional because excuse me, y'all. I'm getting emotional because of what I've been through. My past, I ain't gonna say past life, my past, what I've been through in the past, y'all, I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy. When my kids were little at age 4, I never wanted to share this on social media, but in order for me to do the story time, and to tell you guys how I became an entrepreneur and still launching out, is I want to be transparent to my family, to my lead fam. I want to be transparent to y'all to let y'all know what I've been through in life, because my life is a testimony to somebody else out there, whoever that's watching. To you that's watching, it's a testimony. So can I be transparent here? Can I tell the truth? Can I be honest with you guys? Okay. My kids were small, I got married, to a man that I thought that was good to me. At the beginning, he was a good man. I'm not going to say bad words to him because, the devil takes toll on all of us if you're not strong. So I had 4 small children, and there was like steps. My 2 oldest kids wasn't steps. They was like apart from each other, but the last 2 kids were like steps. So I got married and I had kids. I had children and stuff by my husband, and I already had one that I had from a previous relationship with another man. That was my oldest daughter. Then I had this one. The second child that I had, I don't know. The second child I had was by my husband. Then the third, then the 4th child was by my husband as well. So my husband was a good man. His uncle gave him a good job and everything, and he began to work with his uncle and stuff. He was making good money. My husband didn't want me to work, so I did not work. So he provided for the house. He took care of the house. He bought everything, groceries. I mean, he was a good shopper. He did everything for me and the kids. So people were starting to come over my house and lure my husband out the house, as far as his friends and stuff, leading him back to the streets. Okay, so my husband began to be a drug dealer. And how I found that out, because I found crack on the heater. I guess he was chopping it up in the bathroom. He didn't want me to know about it. He kept it secret. He didn't want me to find out that he was doing it on the side as far as jobs and everything concerned. So one day I went to the bathroom, I took me a shower, and I saw the crack laying on the heater. When I saw it, all I began to see was my life flash before my eyes. When I saw the drugs, my eyes began to be watery, got watery, then the tears began to flow down. And I saw visions over here, visions over there, and I began to see what my life was going to be like. I saw my husband going to leave the house. I saw my husband going to get in the drug thing. And I saw a lot of things. I saw the women that going to be luring him. And guess what? It happened. So my husband knocked on the door. He tried to bang on the door real hard and try to hurry up and get in the bathroom. But I was already in there. So when he came in there, he was like, I looked at him. I'm like, why? That's how my face was like. He couldn't do nothing but just grab my face and told me, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he said, I just wanted to do this for me and you and the kids. And I told him, no, this is not the best way to handle things. The best way is to stay with your uncle. I said, why you didn't stay with your uncle? I can't remember because it being so long ago, but he began to explain it to me why, but it didn't make sense to me. So guess what? My visions that I had came to reality. My husband up and left me. I heard word in the street that he had kids by other women. There were women that even were so bold to come to my house and throw my husband's clothes at me on the porch, or either come down there and give me a message that my husband was up the street with them. I mean, it was chaos. So my husband left me. I ended up raising 4 kids by myself with the help of God and with the help of family members, my siblings and my mother. If it had not been for the circle that I had, the small circle that I had to help me to raise these kids, I probably would have killed myself, would have killed my husband and the girls that he messed with. Or I could have killed me and the kids, or I could have been in Dorothy Dix. That's how my mind was. Okay, so that happened. So things began to get a little rocky. I had a lot of responsibilities on me now. I was only 24 or 25 years old with 4 kids. 4 kids. And I was only 24 or either 25. And there was children like back to back. They weren't even like 8, 9. There was like maybe like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, something like that. They was like steps. All my kids were like steps. They were real tiny little children. So things are beginning to heat up a little bit. The storm began to get really, really outraged. Okay, so I didn't have no umbrella to protect me from the rain. So things got shaky, and I began to go through a lot of things. Then it became to the point where I was homeless. Me and my kids were homeless. We didn't have no transportation. There were times where I had to catch the cat bus to go from here and there with all 4 kids in the rain sometimes. Sometimes we had to walk in the rain. It was a mess. I became homeless. I ended up staying with my mom. I lost my place in Walnut Terrace. I lost my place. I, raised my kids up in the hood. Not all of them, but just 2 of them. So I became homeless, living with my mom. And at the time I was going to church with her and everything, I began to lose focus and lose hope. So my baby boy always reminded me he was so special. My baby boy said to me one day, I was in the bathroom crying out to God because I said, Lord, I'm tired of this. I was tired of what I was going through. I was hurt from the past of my husband leaving me and these women, and I was going through a whole lot. So my baby boy came in the bathroom. He said, Mama, He said, it's okay, mama. He was a little boy. He said, it's okay, mama. To this day, my baby boy is 20 years old, but he came to me as a little boy and said, it's okay, mama. He grabbed my hands. He said, God got your house, mama. God got your house. At the time I was working at Apple Tree, God had opened the doors for me to go to Apple Tree, and I went there for a little while and worked there. And then in the midst of that, I end up let me see. I think I'm going too far. In the midst of that, God had blessed me a home. I honestly don't know how I got this home. One day a man called me and asked me, did I put in the application for a house on Stevens Road? And I told him I didn't want to say no because I really didn't know that I did it or not, because at the time I was looking for houses and I did put in applications, but I didn't think nobody would call me back the next day. So when the person called my job and asked me that I wanted the house, I told him yeah. So I ended up getting there, and that's when all hell broke loose. Everything was happening, and it got to the point that my struggles began to be real. I was on housing authority. I was receiving food stamps as well. So everything, my struggles got real. I needed the food stamp because I didn't have enough money to feed my kids. My salary was like, when I was at Apple Tree, my salary, I was making $7.25, 4 children. Then I bumped the raising, was making $8.50 or $8.25 or $8, at times, So the storm got very real. And I'm talking about, it wasn't a storm. It was actually a tornado. So everything began to fall out of place when I moved there. So it got to the point where I wasn't making enough money to provide electric lights for my family. There were times I went without water for a whole almost a year. There have been times when I had no lights, and glory be to God, one day it seemed like every tax year, I was a young lady, so I didn't really know how to budget money at the time. So I always took my tax money, I always splurged with the children and did a lot of things. So then the older I became, the more wiser I got through the word of God. So the Lord began to show me some things, and I always kept my children at the feet of Jesus. Like, we always prayed at night, and we always read a scripture, Psalms 121 all the time, and I always read them the word of God. They stayed at the foot post of my bed reading scriptures and praying out to God. So things got a little hectic with the transportation situation. So God ended up blessing me with my first van. I didn't know how to drive at all, so I taught myself how to drive. My aunt showed me how to do a few things. My uncle did also. So nobody was there one day. I needed to go somewhere very, very bad, and I couldn't get there. So guess what? I got in that vehicle. I prayed and I said, God, have your angels to come down from heaven to steer this wheel for me. And I said, God, help me to drive like I've been driving for years. And guess what? My prayers was answered. I drove that car, and after that, the first day, I drove it again. So I ended up getting my license, my insurance, everything. So I was on the road. Okay, so we ended up moving from Stevens Road, and we ended up going to Bledsoe. So we moved to Bledsoe, into a nice, beautiful house that was just being built. Still, I'm on housing and food stamps because that was the only way that I know to survive, because I had 4 kids, small kids, and I wasn't making nothing but $8.75 an hour. So things began to get shut off, my lights and stuff. So there were times when I had to ask my sister, my baby sister at the time. She had her own place. And there were times when she allowed me to stay there, and there was times when she didn't. The times that she didn't let me and my kids come stay with her, because I was so embarrassed I was so embarrassed of my struggles. I was embarrassed of my trials. So I hid from everybody. So I went to my babysitter because we were all in the same church. I didn't want mama to know. I didn't want nobody to know my business. I was the quiet person. I didn't want nobody to know that I was going through a storm and didn't have an umbrella to withhold the rain, or to stop the rain. So I began, at the time, my baby sister had her own apartment. She had her own car and everything. So I'm like, sis, I need your help. Me and the kids need to stay with you till this day. It always been a day that fell on payday. So I would tell her, and listen to until I get paid. Can we stay at your house till I get paid? Because my lights is out or my water's out. It was always something happening that I needed her for. There were times when, and I couldn't pay her back for staying there. So the only thing I could do was pay her back in food stamps by buying her food and stuff. So at the time I couldn't. At the time when I needed her, there were some days, like I said, she let me stay with her, and there were some days that she did not. And the days that she did not allow me and my kids to stay with her, I had to find some place suitable for me and my kids. So there was one time that me and the kids went to Wake Medical. And we sat at Wake Medical, y'all. I made sure my kids got fed at either my daddy's house, my mama's house, or my sister Celeste's house. And I left. Nobody knew where I was going. Nobody knew where I was taking the kids. So me and the kids end up at Wake Medical. And we sat there. I pretended like as if I was waiting on someone. And Wake Medical don't ask people why you here or whatever, or the only thing they ask you, have you been seen or whatever, but they didn't know why I was there. I was there because I didn't have any lights. My son had asthma. I had asthma. My baby girl had asthma. So I had to be in a place, in an environment that was cool. So I told the kids, we went to Wake Medical. I told the kids, I said, y'all lay down and go to sleep. So they did that. So then I felt uncomfortable there. So I said, y'all wake up. We're gonna have to walk around around Wake Medical. So in order to keep my kids awake, we walked around Wake Medical about 2 or 3 times just to keep them awake. 4 kids now. So then the kids said, Mama, we tired, we sleepy, Mama. And I was so hurt. And tears began to roll down my face. I said, y'all, let's just sit in the car. So we sat in my car at Wake Medical. I rolled down the windows. I prayed and asked God to be with us. I couldn't sleep like I want to because we slept in the truck. I rolled down the window so my son and my daughter and I can get some air. I let the seat back and they laid down and they went to sleep. And of course, mothers, I didn't go to sleep. Mothers, when things go wrong, it's hard for us to get sleep. I doze off from every now and then, but I was still cautious. I was still awake. I still was trying to listen to my environment, looking around and everything else. So daybreak came. Praise be to God. Daybreak came. I cranked up the car and I went home. And I lifted up my window as high as I can. I laid my son that had very bad asthma. I laid him on the floor where my bed was. And that breeze came in that house. It was like, it was a calm breeze. And y'all, I kid you not, I really don't believe that the trees was even blowing. But that breeze came in that house. And I felt and I said, thank you, God. My kids were in the other room sleep. I was in my room sleep, and we just went to sleep. All of us just went to sleep. And that let me know the time when I had asked God about what is this organization for? Why do you want me to do this? This is the curtain that he rolled back. He rolled back that I was homeless. There were times when we went without food. There were times when I went without food. I made sure my kids ate, but I didn't eat. I waited until either I went to work or I either went to my mom's house. But at the time we was out food, that's another reason. There were times when I couldn't afford to buy my own self clothes because I was constantly taking care of my own kids. I left myself out the beam. My kids were taken care of. I took care of myself too because I didn't want to go out in the outside world looking any kind of way. But I never looked like I was going through. Did that make sense? I never looked as if I was going through. The way I looked as if I was fine, that I had money. It looked like I had money, like I had it going on. It looked like I was okay to the world. But nobody knew that I was in a dark closet. Nobody knew that I was going through the battle. Nobody knew that I was going through the storm. Nobody knew that the storm looked right at me, the tornado. Nobody knew that I was in the eye of a tornado. Nobody knew. So the Lord began to roll back the curtains. He began to show me my whole life. I was homeless. I went without food. I had no clothes. There were times I couldn't afford to get gas. There were times my bills couldn't be paid. He showed me everything about my life. So he said, take all of that and put it into your corporation. So this corporation is based upon my life. And it is an encouragement to women that are out there that are struggling through the battle just like I am with no umbrella. But guess what? Through the whole time that the rain was falling, that man up there had an umbrella everywhere I went, everywhere I go. Because guess what? After the battle I went through, I began to see the sun peeking through the clouds. Everything got easier. Everything got better and better and better and easier. So after I had lost my job, that's when God showed me all of this. So I said, okay, God. So he began to tell me what to write, how to do things, what to say. So I began to create a Facebook web page. Y'all, if y'all want to know about my organization, it is called Bgwr Inc. And the meaning of that is Bandit Women, Gracious Reborn. And the reason why I put it that way, because I was banded, I was broken, and I was reborn. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm going here? I was reborn. I was reborn to rise, when I couldn't rise anymore. I was reborn in Christ, because when I didn't know certain things about Christ, now I know a little bit more about Christ, and I'm in a new home now, a new church home now. And God opened up my eyes and understanding of my life, of everything. So, and the reason for the purpose is for women to help encourage women to get up off their feet, to go forward in a better and bigger, brighter future. For them to also know that through your storm, God hears you. God hears your storm. God hears you. He sees you going through. But it's up to you to ask him, God, help me. What should I do to be helped? Give your life to Christ, and he will make it all right. Give it to him. Give everything to him. Let him fix everything. Let him make it mold you what he wants you to be. And that's what he had to do with me. He had to make and mold me over again. He had to rebuild me. So that's why it's called Gracious Women Reborn. It's an incorporation, but I call it an organization because there's a lot of things going on in here. So let me read y'all what kind of, if I can find me another flyer, y'all. Hold on just a minute. If I can find me a brochure, here go one. Voila, got it. So this organization is based upon my life. That is actually my story, but it's more to the story. But I don't want to share with y'all the whole story, because if I do, this will be a long footage, and I know y'all be like, oh, hold on, Glow, hold on, Lee, I got to, man, let me go get a cup of water or whatever. But it's a long footage, and I don't want to go through all that because I don't want to, linger around time. But anyway, the organization is based upon my life. So God began to create a website. It took me 6 months to do the website. After I did the website, I made a website for mothers. Actually, I made the main website, and I created a website for women. Then I created a website for little young girls. It's actually for parents that have kids to look on that page. And the website for women is for the women. Like, you can be single, you can be a parent or whatever. You can be single women in the world. It's for a community world of women. I have the separate pages for the parents, if they have girls or they have boys or whatever. It's for parents. It's a parents page. So if you guys want to find my organization, I am on Facebook. I have a business Facebook page. That the website is www.facebook.com/bgwr.344. Now, if you want to also go on my world page, it is I don't got it up here, but it is Gloria.johnson020.wix.com/bgwri. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, no dots. Let me start that over, y'all. I done messed it all up. It is www.gloriajohnson020.wix.com/bgwrinc. Okay, so let me share with y'all the services that we have got going here. Okay, I got the title is Bgwr Inc. And we serve the needs of the women in the community and girls also. I love what I do, God. I love what I do, guys. Lily's fam, I love what I do. I love helping women. I love helping girls. I love doing what I do best. This is my passion, and I always had a passion for it. And that's why I now know the reason why I lost my job, because I couldn't hear God. I was so busy when he was trying to talk to me about this that I couldn't hear him. So it had to take me losing my job to find my peace. It took me losing my job to help someone. So God gave me this. After I lost my job, I saw the big picture of what he was trying to tell and show me was this organization. So our office hours are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're 4 p.m. We are closed on Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, so this is the story. It says Bandit Gracious Women Reborn is a non-profit or I'm sorry, y'all. I can't talk. Anyway, it says Bandit Gracious Women Reborn is a non-profit incorporation. The outreach ministry was founded in 2013 and created based upon midlife crisis. There you go. Of what women struggles through without assistance in making ends meet on day-to-day basis in need of help. See, I asked God to give me what to say, and this is what this is really about. Okay, it says Bgwr Inc. mission is to assist women and girls throughout the community whom have stumbled across life situations. Our intentions also is to encourage and point women and / girls towards a brighter path and future. Our services, we give out food assistance, which is vouchers. We have a mentorship program for we have a big sister mentorship program. We give out transportation. We have y'all, I can't talk. Let me try that again. Take one. Okay. We also assist with transportation, which is bus tickets and gas cards. We have back to school backpack drive. We have a Steps to Success program for women and girls. We also help assist with utility billing, such as credit rent deposits, rent payments. We also do holiday food boxes giveaway. And that's something I love enjoying doing. Is let me explain to y'all about that. The Thanksgiving food boxes is this. The community come together. The community and I come together in November. Each year around November, we decorate boxes full of fall fiesta decor, and we place them in different facilities. Like we place them in the dental office, we place them in the drugstore, anywhere. We place them in anywhere, and we explain to them what we're doing, so they would tell their people, and a word of mouth, and people will come and donate food and donate all kinds of Thanksgiving products, food, and excuse me, y'all. Hold on, okay. They would come in as a whole, as a community, and they would donate to each box. Each facility has a box, so the community will come in, they'll put food in there and stuff. So after everything is gathered up, I disperse those boxes off to families that are in need of Thanksgiving food, because I don't like to sit at the table eating food knowing that somebody is not being fed. I'm eating a hot meal and somebody's not eating, and they got kids and their family. So I don't like doing that. So I try to bring shine to the community. So I disperse the boxes out to families that are in need, you know, that need Thanksgiving food, so they can have a happy Thanksgiving. So but the thing is about that is with the facilities, whomever donate the most food gets a certificate. Whoever that donates the most food will be our winner, and the winner gets a plaque. And whoever did a lot, and maybe like 3 boxes, they get like a certificate from me. But I give them, who's the winner that feeds the most family, they get a plaque, and they get to take a picture with me. And I haven't put it in newspaper yet, but my intentions were and is to put their picture of me and the plaque, me and them holding their plaque in the newspaper, the News Up service. So I love that. I love it. And we enjoy ourselves, you know, decorating the boxes with decor, because we eat and we laugh, and it's so much fun. They bring their kids out and everything. It's so much fun. But anyway, we also do volunteer community service work, which is the kids, parents, if you have children that's lacking in credit hours so they can pass their grade, or either pass or graduate or whatever, in college or school, high school, whatever, they can come here and they do community service work. If they know to do Microsoft Office work, I will put them in here to do office work. If they don't, I take them into a community, and they'll pick up trash, or they'll do something for the elderly, something like that, to gain their services. Okay, so this is how it looks in the middle. Y'all see that? Up top, you see one of the ladies. She's in fact my guest speaker. She was doing a PowerPoint on the mentorship Big Sister program, and in the middle is, can y'all see that? Let me see. Can y'all see that? In the middle is Carolina. I think it's called Carolina Dentistry, Family Dentistry, or something like that. But they end up winning, and they received a plaque from me. And at the bottom is a young lady doing community service work. Now on the back of this, it says Luke 6:38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measures, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give unto your bosom, for the same measures that ye met, what it shall be measured to you again. Bgwr Inc. offers many services and programs to fit any spiritual or financial needs. We're a small Christian-based business doing bigger and greater things with the help of the Lord above to serve our community. If you would like to contribute money, donation toward a charity of Bgwr Inc., or maybe even have a fundraiser event for the organization, you can look us up on the North Carolina Secretary of State. For any assistance or guidance, schedule your appointment. Now, like I was saying, if you guys want to donate money towards this organization, please do so. Your money will really help more organization. It will help help women get to work, back and forth to school, back and forth to work, getting their kids. It will help also put diapers on their baby's back. You know, it will help also pay somebody utility bills if their lights got cut off. You know, it's a numerous of things that we need, that we may need your funding. So if the Lord placed upon your heart to donate to us, please do so. If you put it on your heart to have a fundraiser for our organization, please, you can do that too. I will link everything at the bottom of this video. Y'all, for some reason, I cannot talk today. Anyway, everything that you need, I will link it underneath this video. If you want to donate money, if you want to contact me and everything, I will put my email address underneath this video and everything. So y'all, there you have it. That is the story of how I became an entrepreneur. And yes, I am legal. I have got my certificates. Let me show y'all. I'm gonna move this. Move my plant so you guys can see. And I'm going to show y'all my certificates if y'all can see that. I have my North Carolina Secretary of State and Corporation articles. I have my business license, so yes. And I also have my charitable license. So by the grace of God, I'm getting it. I'm trying to do everything that I can, you know, through him. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So, guys, there you have it. That is my story of how I became an entrepreneur. So, I've been in this business now for 4 years. And I had my office, I think, for 2.5 years. It's great, y'all. Life is great. And I know it's going to be better than this because I have a vision that one of these days I will have my own incorporation office and I will have staff. With how you say it? Is it cuticles or cuticles? Cubicles. They will be having their own cuticles and their own office. I will have my own staff. So be praying and keep praying for us. But that is the story of how I became an entrepreneur, y'all. So that is it, Lily's fam. I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope y'all enjoyed the story time.